Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking the Justice League, but we're really focusing today on the Parademons. If you look at the arrows here, they highlight the Parademons that look sort of like insects, sort of like wasps. You can see that they have wings, and if I were to just blow into this Parademon here, red eyes, wings, you can see their appendages look something like insects. Okay, there's another one in the distance here, holding a human. You can see the legs are sort of insect-like as well. Now, there are many different kinds of parademons, but let's first just go by the definition of what a parademon is. So, there are many different kinds of parademons, okay? But basically, parademons are extraterrestrials that actually were troops of Apocalypse, which was used by Darkseid. Now, Apocalypse is sort of like the hell world in the two worlds. There's Apocalypse and New Genesis, and New Genesis is like heaven. And basically, parademons, how they were created, etc., is that parademons were basically processed. They are usually, as you can see here, they are hordes that are either remodeled life forms or processed corpses of what Darkseid and Apocalypse has harvested and processed from various worlds and realities they have conquered. Basically, Darkseid kills whatever is on a planet and reprocesses the bodies of those conquered planet creatures that have died to form these parademons. Okay, that's why they kind of look sort of nightmarish. Okay, now there are different kinds of parademons. We have what we call berserker parademons, which are remodeled remains of dead or kidnapped citizens from the apocalyptic world. And then you have other kinds of parademons. And the other interesting thing about this is that parademons, some of them, just like with clones in the Clone War, some of them actually got individual personalities. So you had Michael, who is also known as Mike, and he lived on Earth in the Caribbean. We had the Secret Six parademon that joined the Secret Six, Villains United. We had 3G4, Colonel Horrendous. We had Farzoof, and we had Topkick. So it's not necessarily that parademons, generally they have low intellect and they just process orders and they behave like real soldiers. But we have also had parademons which had individual personalities and so on. And some of them even had the ability to talk. Now, in the Justice League, when they teamed up with the Avengers, and that happened once, where they had to go to Apocalypse to gain an Infinity Gauntlet, they battled parademons. Now, parademons really are the most dangerous in their numbers because they're in hordes. So, all of these things I wanted to just tell you as a little background to parademons. But that does not mean that these parademons are not processed using something called a mother box. But we'll get to that later. So here we have a shot of the parademons here. Here's a closer look of a parademon. As I showed you, this parademon is actually holding a human by his feet, and he's also carrying a gun, a weapon. So he's a soldier. Generally, parademons have winged flight, but some parademons don't. Okay? So here we have, again, Batman v Superman, a nice close-up look at Batman here being held down. Here's a nice look at a parademon on the side there. All these parademons in the sky flying in. You can see this parademon just flowing, and he's carrying a weapon. There are different kinds of parademons, like I said. There's scout parademons. Here you see Zack Snyder editing a cut where Batman is taking on a whole ton of parademons. There are different sizes of parademons as well. So here you see Batman from the Justice League trailer coming in, and he throws this, what looks like some sort of explosive device on a parademon. Look how tall this parademon is. It's a very tall, powerful parademon. Just like the parademons we saw Zack Snyder editing here, they're much bigger, much taller than Batman. Batman's almost half their height. And they almost look like Terminator 2 parademons, actually. So they're different forms of parademon. This parademon actually has inbuilt into him guns for hands. Alright, and you can see a huge looking thing there, and that could be a parademon as well. So there are different kinds of parademons for different tasks, and you'll see more about that in a minute. Here, this parademon, he can collapse his wings in, as you see him facing the flash, so he has collapsible wings. And he doesn't have, different parademons have different pairs of wings. Some parademons have 2 pairs of wings, some parademons have 1 pair of wings. So there's all these different things. And you can see this parademon, he's glowing red on the inside. So his energy source is different. This one also glows red, as you can see here. And when you look at the parademons here in Batman v Superman, their eyes glow red, right? You see the red glow in their eyes. Can't really get close-up look of one, but we'll see one close-up in a minute. Okay? And you'll see that the eyes of the parademon glow red. Like, there you go, there it is. So here, this parademon's eyes glow red. Okay? And you can see that this parademon, he has claws at the end of his hands, but you can't see that. They generally have claws at the end of their hands. Here it is again, he's glowing red. Here he is flying. There's a parademon flying here. Zoom in a little bit more so you can see both of them. Alright? This looks like an insect, but it has, the hind legs are out. You see? Alright. Now you can see that this parademon, which is Silas Stone here, he had a mother box in the vicinity. You can see that this parademon also, his eyes glow red, but he looks a little bit different to this parademon we just saw here. Okay, if you look at this parademon, I think they pretty much look the same, actually. Actually, they look pretty much the same. You can see the parademon has these kind of jagged teeth, like a locust or something. And you can see they're kind of half machine, half human. And generally speaking, if you look at the parademon, you see there's a glow on the inside of the parademon here. And why I said that the processing involves something that people don't know about, which is now New Genesis calls the technology that is used to help convert the parademons a mother box. And Silas Stone, he used a mother box to actually put back energy into what is now known as Cyborg, but what his son Victor Stone, who had died, and the mother box was able to give him back life. So we'll go into the mother boxes a little bit later, but I think that's what they use for corpses and stuff, to re-energize them, give them back life. I think it's mother boxes that they actually use. But they're not necessarily called mother boxes. They may be called father boxes, because Apocalypse, the technology that is sort of the analogous to a mother box is a father box. And that's another story for another day, but we'll talk about that some other time. So here you see Batman swinging in and attacking a parademon here. Alright. Here's another parademon flying in. Now you notice this has 2 pairs of wings versus 1 pair of wings. And its feet are a little bit different, and it has these claws on its hands. And we'll get to see that parademon even in better detail here. And you see that they glow with a yellow glow on the inside. So this may be because they're using the technology of a father box instead of a mother box to power them. Okay? They're still sentient beings. That means they're living beings. But notice that their wings are different. They have like wasp-like clear wings versus the parademons we saw, which had very black wings, filled out wings, and they look more insect-like. Okay? So different parademons have different wings, and there's a reason why they have different wings. Well, actually, this one has wasp-like wings as well below, and much more colored, full wings on top. So I guess it depends on what parademon you're looking at. And this one looks more like a soldier. But anyway, I was saying that the parademons, there's their wasp-like wings below, and they have these full-fledged wings on top. So it's pretty much the same kind of parademon, just different coloring on the inside in this case. And Wonder Woman comes and knocks the parademons away. Oh, by the way, parademons have a high threshold for pain. High threshold for pain. They're really built for war. Take instruction very well. They're super strong, super quick, super fast. Okay, so all of these things you need to bear in mind when you talk about a parademon. This parademon, notice he doesn't have insect-like legs, but he has legs like a human. And you'll also notice that this parademon here, where did we see that parademon? This one also has humanoid-looking legs. So different parademons. This one also has humanoid-looking legs. But not all parademons have the same kind of legs. And that's probably because they're processing different kinds of animals. Again, this big parademon, the big parademons seem to have these powerful legs. You have different size parademons. I'll show you all of this. Alright? If you look at this parademon, however, you notice he doesn't have the legs like how the other parademons have. He has more legs like insect. He has insect-like legs. So it depends on... See, this one has insect legs as well. So it depends on the parademon we're talking about, right? Anyway, this is a parademon here. Notice his wings are not so much... They're still kind of wasp-like wings, but he's fully colored in this case. But this parademon looks more like these parademons here. So this is probably a Mattel version of these kinds of parademons. Here it is again. And you can see again the wasp-like wings here. And it has green eyes instead of yellow eyes in this case. And here's another version of the parademon down here. This one has red eyes. He's glowing red on the inside. And he's got the wasp-like wings as well. Okay, carrying 2 weapons instead of 1. Okay, this one is carrying 1 weapon. Alright. Now, you want to just zoom in on the parademon? Oh, I just zoomed out. Zoom in there. There's all. Zoom in on this one. See how that parademon looks? So you get the general look of a parademon. They're kind of armored. They kind of have technology with them. Here's this parademon again. And you can see the look here, the build of it. And that's what I was trying to tell you. See, Cyborg has the same kind of thing going on with him. He's energized from his core. There's something that energizes him. In this case, it's the mother box that's given him back life. But he's kind of, again, more machine than a human. And he can morph and do different things. And so can parademons. Parademons can morph and become different things as well. So Cyborg, by using the mother box technology, got back life. And I guess the parademons, using either mother box or father box technology, on Apocalypse, are able to get life. And that's another reason probably that Steppenwolf wants these mother boxes. That may be another reason. That leads me to mother boxes and their powers and abilities. First of all, the Apocalypse science, Himan, used the mysterious element X, and they were thought to be sentient, miniaturized, portable supercomputers. Although their true nature and origins are unknown, they possess wondrous powers and abilities not understood fully by their users, the gods of New Genesis. So, even though Apocalypse scientists made these things, they were used on New Genesis, okay? And they were used to help Darkseid heal. They can manipulate energy. They can summon boom tubes. Excuse me. And they can heal people. They can balance out nature. They can self-destruct. They can heal, create force fields, sense nature, sense life, absorb powerful blasts, create electro webs, control the mental state of a host, communicate telepathically with a host or other life. They make a pinging sound. And you know, Lex Luthor was saying ding, 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 ding. So maybe it's ding now. The father boxes, they say ting, 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 ting. You know, well, I guess he's saying ding now. I thought it would be ping, but whatever. And they're like common appliances. They're like the smartphone on Earth. So for the new gods, they use them. Okay? So in the New Genesis, they use them. And on Apocalypse, they use them or their counterpart, father boxes. Let me talk about father boxes a little bit here. Oh, by the way, Iron Man also used a mother box once. And in the Justice League Avengers crossover. So that's pretty cool. And that's why I told you, Marvel and DC, it would be really cool if they could cross over, because you know there's similarities that go on there, you know. Anyway, so you have what is called the Grandmother Box. This is where Granny Goodness, who's one of Darkseid's forces, she was able to incorporate in New Genesis and become part of the Mother Boxes. Here's the Father Box I was talking about. It is an apocalyptic version of a mother box, first appeared in Orion series and so on. And yeah, so there's a father box, okay? There's also something called an orphan box, okay? But my point anyway is that I believe they use these things to make the parademons. That's the important part. Now, like I said, there are different kinds of parademons. This one again has a yellow glow. I think the ones with the yellow eyes, like these guys here, even though they have weapons and stuff, I think they're more scouts than they are really warrior parademons. And they're probably the smallest of the parademons. Now, as you can see, some parademons can fly, but some parademons, they can't fly. They actually they can only walk. Because maybe the world, how they are processed, I don't know. But you have different kinds of parademons that do different things. So as you can see here, this is part of Darkseid's forces, the apocalyptic forces coming at the Amazons here. Excuse me. And there you can see there are apocalyptic ships coming in. But there are parademons running on the ground. And you have parademons flying in the air. So not all parademons can fly. The next cool thing about this whole thing, and you can see that their feet, the ones that are running on the ground, they have a kind of different kind of feet. But the best way to see what I'm talking about with parademons and their relative size and stuff is to look at these parademons here in Steppenwolf's ship. So here's Steppenwolf here, that's a mother box in the center, or a father box. I think it's a mother box. So Steppenwolf here, he's commanding the forces. And Steppenwolf is a huge, huge apocalyptic, okay? He's almost twice as tall as any JLA or Justice League member, okay? So he's huge. And you can see he's bigger than some of the parademons around. And different parademons, again, as I said before, they have different light that they emit. You can see that there, okay? But you can also realize that you have some huge parademons. Look how big this parademon is to all those other parademons. I mean, this parademon is bigger than even Steppenwolf. Okay, so you have different size parademons. And that's what you were seeing in Justice League. You have different size parademons. You have different parademons that do different tasks. Okay? So, it's not just you have parademons that fight. You have parademons that fix things. You have parademons, just like with Star Wars, you have parademons that are scouts. They go and scout out territories, right? You have highly armored parademons. So this one looks like a highly armored parademon. There are different sizes, and this is very important to understand. Okay? So, you have parademons with 2 wings. You have parademons with 4 wings. You have parademons that collapse their wings. You have parademons that don't collapse their wings. You have different kinds of parademons. So, this is what's so cool about Justice League. They're not just fodder, even though they will be fodder for the most part, but they're also dangerous, and also there are different levels of parademon. There are parademons that are harder to destroy. Kind of like Star Wars again. So, I'm saying all of this just so you understand that parademons, even though they may be destroyed or even living sentient beings from other worlds that have been converted into these things, there are varieties of them. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys. There's a commonality between Cyborg and these parademons, but by and large, there are varieties of these parademons. Okay, some are more insectival looking, some are more humanoid looking, and so on and so on. But they generally have a general similar look. They generally have the same kind of face. They generally have the same kinds of eyes. Their body still has to emit energy generally. So these are the commonalities of them. But they're just like with insects, they have different tasks. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. I hope it was enlightening to some degree. And of course, for those of you who are into DC lore, you're really looking forward to parademons. I'm really looking forward to them. Just like how with Star Wars, you really look forward to the stormtroopers. I'm really looking forward to the parademons of Darkseid's forces. And interestingly enough, this opens up the door for New Genesis as well, which will be really cool. High Father, Granny Goodness, I forgot Granny Goodness and the Furies, right? Opens the door for the Furies and all of that. And it opens the door also for some intergalactic stuff. And that's really awesome because you have to remember, on the Marvel side of things, they're going for Infinity War. And what's cool about Infinity War is it sort of starts to set the tone for what the universe in Marvel is. But there's so much commonalities between Marvel and DC that we can literally overlap the two universes eventually. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's the mind-boggling part. How they're gonna actually do that. And there are crossover comics that do this already, but I'm just really interested in seeing that actually happen. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing ever. So I know Kevin Feige knows this, and I know that DC and Jeff Johns and everybody, I mean John Berg, Zack Snyder, everybody is aware of this. So I look forward to that. I look forward to the very first crossover series between Marvel and DC. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fantastic whenever they do that. It may be somewhere in 2020 something, but I'm telling you, man, that's what this whole thing's leading up to. So, you know, it doesn't really make too much sense being just a pure Marvel fan or a pure DC fan. Yeah, you may have your tendency. You might, you know what, I like the DCEU. I like to watch the DCU. That might be so. But I always tell people that if you want a movie that gets everybody out of their butts to go see, you have to do a crossover movie. It's kind of like Predator versus Alien, you know, but in this case, it will not be the Justice League versus the Avengers. I don't think that event is what's it's gonna take to bring both parties to the table. I think it has to be a really serious threat that will bring the Justice League and the Avengers together to fight this intergalactic threat that's just so huge that it's threatening all of the so-called powers out there, and Justice League has to join in, and so does the Avengers. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am looking forward to that. It's going to have a lot of characters in that. And it's going to be awesome. It's going to be super duper awesome. It'll be every single comic book fan's dream. It may not be so big scale, though. It may be small scale. But still, I can't wait for an epic like that. And you know, Infinity Wars is going to be epic because you're talking about a ton of characters are going to be in Infinity War. And they're going to make it work. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Even though I'm not really enthusiastic about Infinity War yet, because you know I just don't really. But I'm just thinking in my mind, every single freaking character of Marvel, a lot of them are gonna show up in Infinity War, and I'm like, that's a comic book fan's dream. You know, you don't want to be not a part of that. So I'm thinking about it, man. I'm really seriously giving it some thought, just for the epicness of that. Just seeing all those different characters in it. If it's just the same characters with a bigger villain, that won't be cool. But if you have these epic amounts of characters in this movie, Infinity War, trying to figure out how to get these Infinity Stones away from Thanos, that could be some epic shit, man. I'm just saying. We'll see. We'll see. But right now, I'm focused on Justice League. And then after that, I'll focus on Black Panther. And then after that, I'm focusing on Aquaman. But I know that I think Infinity War comes early on in the year. I have to go check that out. But if Infinity War, I mean, come on now. If Justice League comes out really good, frick, you know Infinity War is going to blow it. It's going to blow the socks off of everything. Hopefully. I mean, they had to come good, but I mean, just the sheer numbers of characters that's going to be in freaking Infinity War. It's just, I mean, when you really think about it, man, shit, man. Man, I may have to go see that movie. It depends. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to, see, for me, you know, it's not about hate. I love comic book movies to some degree. I mean, I like my realism. I probably won't go into the cinema and just go watch a comic book movie just like that, just because it's a comic book movie. So I'm not really that kind of comic book fan. But I am someone that if you hook me in, then it's over because I'm committed to you for life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. Anyway, leave your comments in the comment section below about what you think about Parademons for the Justice League film. And also, in addition, tell me what's your expectations. If Justice League kills it at the box office and does extremely well, will you be going to watch Infinity War after that? Because I don't see why you shouldn't. I mean, it's not about compare and contrast, because eventually these two these two companies are going to have to come together and put together a tremendous bonanza that's going to have all of the comic book fans oh, they're gonna be so euphoric, it's gonna be ridiculous. So that has to happen at some point. Somebody's gonna be talking about it. It's just inevitable. So leave your comments in the comment section below. That was my video again for you guys. You guys have a great one.